Guys, everybody in Turkey is gonna think Canadians are assholes because of the way I'm driving right now. I beat them at their own game. I guess we're starting to enter like the outer boundaries of Mesopotamia, right? Let's see what ChatGPT has to say. Basically, northern.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, no. Let me speak. Stop. Let me sell you lemons, Habibi. The plains of Mesopotamia. Look at that. Prophets walked amongst these plains. And now here we are in our Canadian BMW at 350,000 kilometers driving Canada to Iraq. And it's 41.5 degrees Celsius. We're in Mesopotamia, baby. Sure does feel like it. Look at this. We're basically in Iraq right now, in the middle of summer, and it's raining. I don't know if that's not a sign from God. I'm just gone nuts. Well, maybe. We've just entered Mesopotamia and we've brought rain with us. Nice to see Mesopotamia here is doing better than London's river. Our river's got more water in them than Bristol. Look at this fertile Mesopotamian land and it's on fire. Cut that. This toll that we just went for had a whole military. We're getting very close to the Syrian borderline and close to Iraq, so I'm getting a little emotional, man. I'm back in the motherland. We're about to go see Abraham's pond of fish, the sacred pond of fish. Alright, so this exit here, it does not have any mention of Syria or Lebanon. However, this will take you down a highway that will lead you to the Syrian border eventually. If you go south enough, that's how you do it. Guys, we'll look into the security situation there, what's going on. I think it's a hard no, but I'll look into it. And if we could drive there with the car, let's do it. But I feel like you need a carnet de passage and you need all that stuff for that kind of country. Not sure, but it's worth looking into because Aleppo is only like, I don't know, like 3 hours from us, something like that, or 6, I don't know. But it's pretty close on the map right now. Yeah, second thought, there's probably not much left to see. The only place you go in Syria that's nice, like the coast, I guess. Yeah, it's probably not worth the risk. Probably definitely not worth the risk. It can't, just scratch that. That was me thinking out loud again. I think like 90% of what I say is just me thinking out loud. We've had this discussion before. It's not like confirmed, validated, thought processed information. It's just the thought process. You know, it's me thinking out loud, and that's how I like to narrate my videos. I don't like to think about things and then tell you. It's more fun in the moment. We're in this together, motherfuckers. Damn, man, it looks hot, you know? It looks hot. I think the guy driving behind me right now has got mental illness. He's about like 2 football fields behind me and he's flashing his lights like he's about to come past me and he can't get anywhere near me and he's like, he thinks he's like king of the road or something. Move out of my way, move out of my way. Bro, some people here are like a little bit off, you know, like chill out, bud. Wow, we just got slowed down. Perfect time, there's a cop with a radar up. Man, they're really out here with those radars, eh? Guys, everybody in Turkey is gonna think Canadians are assholes because of the way I'm driving right now. I beat them at their own game. It's plain and simple. I beat them at their own game. The guy behind me is flashing his lights. Bro, they all do it. Like, it's not nothing new. Like, you know what? Get in the slow lane, bud. No time for you. What is this tomfoolery we have going on here? Yeah, this guy's still light years behind, flashing his lights. Like, buddy, look how far he is. He's flashing from over there. You're not even close. Come up, come get close before you flash your lights, okay? Nobody cares that you're in cruise control. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Like, look at what's in front of me. Fuck out of here. Fucking dummy. Flash him. Come on, flash him. He gets close and doesn't flash, but when he's far, he flashes. So it means he's on cruise control and he doesn't want to be ruining his fuel efficiency. That's my best guess. Otherwise, he's retarded. But he's still retarded. The GPS tripping out. We're going too fast for him. The problem is I literally cannot tell anybody. I can't even call like a cousin or something and be like, please don't tell anybody. Like, hey, you know, can you find out the name of like, or the name of the street they live on or something? I can't do any of that because the second I tell somebody, the whole world is gonna know. The worst, bro. You can't, nobody keep a secret. He's gonna go tell his mom. He's gonna be like, well, he said you can't tell anybody. And then the mom is gonna go tell literally the entire universe. Guys, I was dying to take a piss, but I knew the place looked dodgy before I even pulled over. Did you guys see that? That thing was literally gushing out piss water. I went to that one at first and I saw what it was doing. I was like, oh, no. And then I went to the other one. The other one was piss and rain. So, third one's a charm. Oh man, it's real hot out here. Oh, buddy. I need a good bed tonight. Bed and Wi-Fi. We gotta get some videos out. Guys, there's a cop hidden. Poached right up here, I believe. Oh no, it's just a sign. It's just a sign. I'm tripping. Look at this guy, had a blowout, the whole tires right there. Yeah, I've seen a lot of blowout rubber just very recently, so I think it's because it's getting hotter out here, and because of that, I'm gonna be extra careful. I know I keep contradicting myself, but live with it, or don't. It's better if you don't. Just forget about it. I'm actually really excited to get to this sacred pond to fish. This sounds so cool. Like, this is extra ancient, you know? I guess we're starting to enter like the outer boundaries of Mesopotamia, right? Let's see what ChatGPT has to say. Guys, the kebab was very good. It hit the spot. The peppers, my stomach's not used to that much pepper, so we need some getting used to it. Second last time I went to Iraq, I got like dangerously ill. It's happened a few times in my life going there, and it's definitely from the tap water. When I was a kid, I was stupid. I would see everybody drinking out the hose in the garden, so I'd go pick up the hose and drink out the hose like everybody else doing it. Yeah, well, they're used to it, right? Oh man, I was like 2 weeks, like just, you know, I'm not gonna go into details, but it was bad. Similar thing happened the second last time I went, and it knocked me out for a good week, close to death, you know? And you really don't want to drink bad water, let me tell you. But it wasn't from drinking water that time. It was either street food, we had street food the first day, or we have like street juice. Street juice is definitely made using the tap water. More likely it was the street juice, but yeah, I was out of commission. Not as bad as when I was a kid, but actually, you know what? It was pretty bad. So now we gotta make sure when we get there, no street juices, no street food. Street food maybe, but we're gonna be with moderation, you know? Ease into it, ease into it. The street juice too, ease into it. Gotta get used to it. And let our immune system kind of get used to what's going on, because I don't want to shock it. It's been too long. So definitely not immune anymore. Once you go through it, then your body's kind of used to it. That's what I noticed, but you gotta go through it to get there. So we're trying to avoid that, skip that step. Yeah, we just drove out of Adana like maybe an hour ago. We're headed for...
Absolutely, we sure do. Always happy to chat and help you navigate whatever comes up along the way. So we'll dive right in.
Alright, before answering, just let me speak. We just left Adana an hour ago. We're headed to Urfa, and I'm just wondering, at what point do we cross into like Mesopotamia?
Yeah, heading to Urfa definitely puts you right on the edge of that ancient Mesopotamian landscape. Basically, once you're in Sanliurfa, you're pretty much there. That whole region is part of northern Mesopotamia. So once you roll into Urfa, congrats, you're basically driving through one of the cradles of civilization. Keep an eye out for the ancient vibes and enjoy the history under your wheels.
Okay, but Mesopotamia is known for being like near Nineveh. So what was going on back in the time in these more...
Yeah, absolutely. I get what we're saying. When people think Mesopotamia, they usually picturing that hole in between.
Well on. Oh my god. This guy straight up pulled over in here. That is a horrible situation. Guys, that guy's broken down, and this is like a very long tunnel. That's really bad for him. That sucks. Here we go. Yeah, so we were saying we're in a tunnel now. We're out. Urfa is basically northern.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, no. Let me speak. Yeah, exactly. You're gonna let me finish this time. Urfa is northern Mesopotamia. What was going on at the time in this area? Because I know real Mesopotamia is near Nineveh, but like the outer edge of it.
Go right ahead, and yeah, you're spot on. Urfa is like the northern tip of that broader Mesopotamian cultural zone, while the heart of ancient Mesopotamia, places like Nineveh, is a bit further south around modern-day Mosul. Back in ancient times, though, this northern area was still super significant. Urfa, or ancient Edessa, has crazy deep roots. It was a crossroads of early civilizations, and by the time you get to the Assyrians and later cultures, it was kind of a northern frontier of their influence. So yeah, you're absolutely right. The real heart is a bit further south near Nineveh, but this whole region was definitely part of that ancient Mesopotamian world. Thanks for letting me roll with your question.
Yeah, but was there, like, were the communities sharing things? What was the logistics looking like back then?
Absolutely, let's dive into that. So the legacy of that area in northern Mesopotamia, like around Urfa, is pretty rich. It was this kind of cultural melting pot over millennia. You had influences from all sorts of ancient peoples: Hurrians, Hittites, Assyrians, and eventually the Persians and Greeks. So it kind of carried this legacy of being a meeting point of civilizations. Even though it wasn't the exact center, like Nineveh, it was still a big part of that broader Mesopotamian cultural and historical tapestry. So yeah, that's a slice of what was going on legacy-wise up in that northern area. If you've got more questions, just let me know.
Yeah, what was like the logistics between the Mesopotamian people? What was their method of communication with each other? How were they exchanging goods? How were messages being sent and received between leaders? Was there an army? How was that looking? Like, give me a better idea.
Absolutely, let's dig into that. So picture this: ancient Mesopotamia of city-states and settlements, rather than one big unified empire all the time. So yeah, you had a bunch of different villages and cities scattered around, and these places were trading with each other all the time. As for logistics and communication, they had some pretty cool systems for back then. They used messengers and couriers to carry clay tablets with written messages. Cuneiform was their go-to writing system, and for trade, they had well-established trade routes where they'd move goods like grain, textiles, metals, and all sorts of stuff by river or on foot in donkey caravans. The Tigris and Euphrates were like their highways. And yeah, they definitely had armies. These city-states often had their own local militias, and larger empires like the Assyrians or Babylonia have more organized military forces. So it was a pretty interconnected world for its time, full of trade, communication, and a bit of military muscle too. Hope that gives you a good picture.
What were conflicts like back then?
Yeah, definitely. There were conflicts back then too. It wasn't all peaceful trading and friendly messages. Those city-states and early empires definitely had their fair share of tussles over territory, resources, and influence. You'd have city-states going to war with each other, and then larger empires like the Assyrians or Babylonians would come in and try to take control. So yeah, you can imagine a bit of a patchwork of alliances and rivalries. They had fortified cities, and they'd sometimes lay siege to each other, or form coalitions to fend off a bigger threat. It was definitely a dynamic and sometimes pretty heated environment. So yeah, ancient Mesopotamia had its conflicts, just like anywhere else.
The richest man in Babylon, where does he fall? And does that connect to the clay tablets you're talking about? Because I know there's a reference in that book.
Absolutely, yeah, that's a fun connection to make. So The Richest Man in Babylon, that classic book, is definitely inspired by the kind of world we're talking about. It uses Babylon as this backdrop for all those financial lessons, and yeah, the clay tablets it mentions are a nod to the real-life cuneiform tablets people use for record keeping and communication. So while the book is more of a modern parable, it definitely draws on that real historical vibe of ancient Babylon and the way they did things. So you got it, those clay tablets are the real deal, and the book just kind of uses...
Is Urfa like when we cross in, or is it after Adana? Like, where's the actual like boundary of Mesopotamia starting?
Yeah, totally understand what you're getting at. It's not like there's a big sign saying welcome to Mesopotamia the moment you cross the line. It's more of a cultural and historical region that kind of blends in. So when you're in Urfa, you're basically at that northern edge of what historically counted as the Mesopotamian cultural.
Okay, so not really Adana.
But once you're in Urfa, you're in that border zone.
Yeah, but not around Adana, right?
That's where you're kind of stepping into the historical Mesopotamian zone rather than around Adana. Adana's definitely more Anatolian in flavor. So, yeah, you're on the right track. Urfa's your gateway to that ancient Mesopotamian vibe.
What did she say? Oh, whatever. I'll edit it. I'll find it. All right, guys. I think there's a checkpoint up ahead.
Gotcha. Sounds like you're about to hit a checkpoint. No worries. Just keep it cool.
Traffics. Looks like there was an accident, maybe? Something happened here. Accident. guys want, stop, let me sell you lemons, habibi. Stop, yalla, come. Yalla, stop, come here, habibi. Why don't you buy my lemons, habibi, please? Yalla. These guys don't care. These guys sold enough tonight. The guys at the end is usually the best guys. Why? Because it takes some time for somebody to rationalize the decision if they want it or not. So the first guy you see, he's not doing well, because unless somebody urgently knows he needs lemons, these guys are way out here. They know what's up. They got my logic. By the time somebody's rationalized whether they need it or not, well, they've already passed the first guy and the first few guys. But by the time you get to the last guy, you're like, you know what? Maybe I get some lemons. It's psychology. That's why when you go to Chapters, you know why the doors are so heavy? Chapters, by the way, if you don't know what Chapters is, it's a bookstore in Canada. And when you go in, the doors are super heavy. And then the first thing they do is put a table in front of you, and a table full of books, and it's right in your way. And you know why they do that? To slow you down. To slow you down and start, you know, you thought you knew what you're going in there for, but now there's this whole bunch of books, and you're like, what is this? Whoa. This truck coming into me like a moron. Okay, yeah, he literally got onto the highway and just started pulling in front of me as the highway was closing because they're doing construction. Idiot. Yeah, so anyways, getting back to my point, this fucking goddamn camera. First of all, look at all the traffic. Wow. Okay. Chapters. They got this whole thing in front of you, and it's meant to slow you down. They know what they're doing. They're playing with psychology. It's not just there for nothing. Their marketing team came up with it. Slows you down, and you're like, oh, what's this book? Why are these books here? And now you're starting to look at other books, and before you can even get to what you wanted to get to, now you're picking up and looking at other products. And it's not just books. There's like soaps and little things and trinkets and all these little things, blankets. So that's how they get you shopping. Now, if they can increase the amount of time you spend in their store, they can increase the average dollar value or transaction value that you're going to provide them with. So that's kind of the psychology behind that, and that's where I was pulling from, explaining to you why you're more likely to stop for the last guy, because the first guy slowed you down. But when you're in a car, it's not like he can come and jump right in front of you, right? So that's exactly what's going on there. Look at the plains of Mesopotamia. We're starting to get close. It's that kind of region. The plains of Mesopotamia. Look at that. Beautiful land. Ancient land. Prophets walked amongst these plains. And now here we are in our Canadian BMW with 350,000 kilometers driving Canada to Iraq. And it's 41.5 degrees Celsius. We have officially hit the 40s. We are in Mesopotamia, baby. Baby.
Yeah, absolutely. So the difference really comes down to how the calendar is.
Reaching out, let me down, running out of time. I really thought you were on my side, but now there's nobody by my side.
Alright, I'd like to confirm that the roads are not crap, but they're bumpy, not as smooth as they have been. So what is that? We're just near Gaziantep. Gaziantep is how it's pronounced in English, and it's a big city. It's a big city on the coast, well, near the coast. Is it? Wait, my apologies, it's not on the coast, but it is basically the point where the coast starts facing downwards. So like the point where the coast kind of, instead of being south-bedded, starts going east. Okay, sorry. The coast for most of Turkey is south-facing, but eventually it turns west-facing. And Gaziantep is basically like inland from that point where the coast kind of changes directions. And it's about like maybe an hour away from the coast, an hour and a half. This is Gaziantep. You can't really see it on this other side of the mountains, I guess. I've never been there. I have a lot of family that's lived there. Well, during the war in Iraq, a lot of people migrated there temporarily and came back after. Not the big war, but when ISIS took control of Mosul, a lot of people had to evacuate. Otherwise, you were stuck in that city for 2 years with no contact to the outside world. If you did get a phone, they would have killed you if they found out you had one. You're not allowed to have a satellite on your house to watch the news. You had no TV, no phones. Everybody was pretty much held hostage. There's a f***ing Netherlands plate behind me. You gotta be kidding me. These guys, they don't stop. They come out of nowhere. They're like cockroaches. Yeah, so it was 2 years of suffering. It was probably worse on the people of Mosul than the Iraq war was, because you're living under pure, how do you say this, like barbarian leadership. They would execute people, put them in mass graves. Yeah. Yeah, they would execute people, put them in mass graves. There were people hung on the side of street lamps to make a statement to other people: if you don't follow the rules, this is what's gonna happen to you. It was just barbaric. And that was, what year was that? That was 2016-ish? 2017 is when it ended. Yeah, it was around that time. I visited Iraq during that time. Most of my family escaped. So most of them moved to Kurdistan, and I'm talking immediate family, like uncles, aunts, but I have family who stayed, who could not afford to leave, and that's like second cousins and stuff like that. They were stuck in Mosul for 2 years under this, and you'll hear the stories. We'll definitely hear those stories. Yeah, so what was my main point here? Yeah, so people came to Gaziantep. It was a big city. It's nice. It's a lot of Arabs there because of that. I don't know if there was a lot of Arabs there before that, but we're in the region where people share somewhat similar traditions. We're like in a different part of Turkey, where the Turks here are just a little bit different culturally. It's a big country, right? So traditions change as you move through land. The border has many cultures within it, and there's Kurdish people. So Gaziantep is probably more a mixed tapestry of all that, and not similar to like being in Istanbul, right? It's more Eastern. We have a lot more similarities, and it's a place that was welcoming for a lot of people. Yeah, so that's Gaziantep. It's a big city. They've got excellent cuisine. I think they're like well known for their baklava. I don't know why in English it's with a V. It's baklava with a W. And yeah, so probably go there one day, but it's not like important enough to get off the highway for right now. And I think I might have some family that lives there still. I don't think so. Yeah, everybody kind of slowly left. Everybody's kind of moved back for the most part. Not everybody, but mostly. Yeah, so now we're kind of in that region, and we're gonna be probably experiencing more people that speak Arabic here in Turkey in this part. Guys, I swear to God, if I see a Netherlands plate in Iraq, I'm gonna lose it. Why are these guys everywhere? Like literally everywhere. God damn it. The car is so filthy. That's a big mosque. Yeah, the car is filthy. No way. It's raining. Guys, it's raining. I'm telling you, if the rain follows me to Iraq, this is not normal. There is no rain in this part of the world at this time of the year. I've never seen it. I've never seen it in my life. And I've spent countless summers, months in Iraq, and driving through here. There's no way it's raining. That's crazy. Guys, we're bringing good fortune here. You know what that means, right?
I'm sorry, but I'm having trouble responding right now. Please wait a bit and try again.
Man, that's nice. The temperature dropped like 10 degrees. It went from 41.5 where were we reading? It's now 31. That's really good. I'll take that. It was way too hot. Well, the engine light has once again disappeared. Just in time. Just in time for the rainstorm. Just in time. Here we are. We are now entering Mesopotamia. It feels like it. Sure does feel like it. Ooh, wow. We're just gonna use ancient borders for our purpose of communication of this journey now. So yeah, so in 200 kilometers, we're gonna be entering the Garden of Eden, and once known as Babylon, or later known as Babylon. And in about 400 kilometers, we'll be approaching the Tigris River. Yes, that's correct. Wow, man, we're in that part of the world. We brought the Beamer with us, and she's here. She doesn't know it. She doesn't know this is home forever yet. But we gotta do a new roof liner in here, man. This thing is sagging. We're gonna touch up the car. I don't know if you guys have noticed the imperfections, but there's quite a few, and we gotta work on that. I've just been waiting until we're in this part of the world because everything's cheaper. I'm gonna do all the labor myself, but just to get the parts is easier because Europe and car parts for a BMW, Germany is not too far from us. I can order things, have them shipped near the Iraqi border into Turkey, and just come pick them up, and it's way cheaper than, you know, buying car parts in Canada. So there's a few things on my laundry list for this vehicle. I'm in no rush, but we are going to get her back into nice shape. We're also going to do a paint job. The front, the clear coat on the, I don't know why the clear coat's so worn out. Maybe it got repainted at one point and wasn't done properly, but the clear coat on the front hood, I don't know if you've noticed, but the front hood is like, it's lost all its shine. There's scratch marks all over it from the dust that hits it, and that's a sign of the clear coat gone. Look at this. Look at this. We're in like basically in Iraq right now, in the middle of summer, and it's raining. I don't know if that's not a sign from God. I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, look, I know you're probably thinking, oh, it's not like it could happen. Yeah, but the timing, I find it pretty mystical. I'd like to go with that. If you think I'm like, I've lost my shit, I'm just gone nuts, well, maybe. Or maybe I just like to believe and have good thoughts, you know? So, well, we're gonna go with that, and that's gonna bring us good energy. What the fuck? What the hell is going on here? Oh boy. Oh man. This car doesn't usually leak water in when we're driving. Alright. Well, there's our car wash. We've just entered Mesopotamia, and we've brought rain with us. We've literally brought rain all the way from Albania, and now we have brought it to Mesopotamia. I like how it pauses and waits until we arrive to continue. It literally started raining yesterday, paused, and clearly it would have went through here by now, right? But no, it waited for us. Now we're here. Now it's raining? I'm actually starting to think I'm the reason behind this rain. There's no other way it makes sense. It doesn't even scientifically make sense. These guys have probably never driven in rain before. I'm joking. There's something called winter, and the rain here is pretty heavy in the winter. You guys gotta know when I'm joking. I'm gonna tell you guys a little story about why I bought this car. One of the main reasons, I have a bad back, and I used to have a really bad back. Now it's pretty good, but there's been things like before we went on this trip, I had like a muscle spasm, and that pinched my nerve, and I couldn't get off the floor for 2-3 days. I couldn't move at all, and that wasn't really back problem. That's just like posture, and but I used to have bad back problems. Okay, and when I was buying this car, the main thing I wanted in a car, because my last car was killing my back, I wanted like 20-way seats or 18-way seats, like something with some like option, you know, to move around, and something that bolsters you in. This seat hugs me when I close the door, and that's what I was shopping for. This was the only car in the price range and kind of specs that I wanted that fit that offered that, and I was already familiar. I had a 5 Series before, so I was like, yeah, this is it for me. And let me tell you, I cannot sit in a car for more than an hour without getting triggered. Like, my back will start flaring, I'll have like pain. And this car, we've been sleeping in it, we've been driving in it, hours, countless hours. I don't even have to get up and stretch. Like, there's nothing wrong with me. I don't feel pain. And you know, knock on wood, I'm really glad I bought this car, and that's like one of the main reasons I like it so much. It's just so comfortable. It's so comfortable, and it's got 20-way seats. These things are like amazing. You can, right here, you can move these like a little pillow. I barely ever use them, but you got them. It's nicer for the passengers, and everything's electronic. Look at this. How do we do this again? Is this going up? It's going up. So everything's electronic. I just went for a, yeah, I just think I got a ticket. Anyways, who cares? Yeah, so this thing's electronic, and the top half of the seat can bend towards me or away from me without reclining. So, you know, we'll take a better look later. I don't think it matters, but yeah, the seat can go like this and like come closer to my torso. Under your legs, it comes out, so you can push it out, and you'll have extra something cushioning under your leg. So when I sleep, I pull that out and it becomes like a mini sofa, and I'm like the perfect height to be able to, like, it's just comfortable. I can sleep on my side or I can sleep on my back. Either way works really well, but I'm not really a back sleeper unless there's weight on me. So unless I got the duvet, I can't really sleep like that. But yeah, I'm telling you, man, if you want something comfortable, the old 5 Series is it. The E60. Olive trees over there, just to give you an idea of the topography. Cedar trees, I think. Are those classified as cedar trees? I don't know. But more olive trees. And really getting into like hot area. So now that the rain's gone, it's back to 42.5 degrees Celsius. Crazy, right? I just flew past a truck that says traffic police and they didn't really care. You know, I was saying the roads were a little shitty, but they went back to normal. They're pretty good now. So maybe it's just a mix of a little bad and some old roads that need some attention. Eventually they get to it though. I just saw them paving the road there, so at least they get to it, you know? At least they get to it. You know what I'm talking about? Like, there's some places where they just don't get to it. It takes a little bit. Eglinton, come on, guys. What's going on over there? Guys, like, you gotta get that together, man. It's been how many years? How many decades? I still don't understand how there's those people walking these entire distances from the UK to Japan and shit like that. Like, how? How? I've been driving for miles, and I've only covered, like, 2 hours. It feels like eternity, you know? Like, can you imagine walking? Guys, go find these people, give them a follow or something. They deserve it. Alright, it's 43 degrees. It's hot as a motherfucker outside. I can feel the heat. It makes it hard to breathe. I don't like the AC. It's necessary, and it's hard to breathe, man. There's like no air, no oxygen. This poor car. Nice to see Mesopotamia here is doing better than London's river. Our river has got more water in them than Bristol. You know, no droughts going on over here. We're 100 kilometers from our destination and 59 minutes away. Look at this fertile Mesopotamian land, and it's on fire. Alright, cut that. We got orchards down here. I want an orchard. I'm gonna buy an orchard. Man, those Adana kebab sandwiches are like 2 foot long, okay? Or maybe like more like 1.75, but they're massive. When I was a kid, I used to like them so much, and we only got them when we were at the bus station in Adana. So I'd get like 2 or 3 of them, eat the whole things right there, and then we'd leave, I'd crave it right away. And you can't get them the way they're made in Adana, especially the sandwiches. Like, you get Adana kebab most places, it just never tastes the same. The meat quality is different in the Middle East than it is in Canada, so if you do get an Adana kebab, there's a lot of places that make it good, but it's just not the same. And the bread, there's no way anybody makes it with that kind of bread and that kind of sandwich. I've never seen it. Maybe there's a business idea to you Turkish viewers in Canada. If you own a restaurant in Canada or want to open a Turkish restaurant, offer the real genuine Adana kebab sandwich with the real bread and the real length of the sandwich and the real garnishes that are inside. Don't change the garnish, just keep everything the way it is. I promise you it'll be successful. You're gonna see the contrast between here and Iraq. Unfortunately, a lot of garbage on the side of the streets. Farmland is things aren't watered enough, and it's a lot more dead, a lot more treeless. Maybe we gotta change that, man. We gotta, you know, let's change that. We've driven from Canada to Iraq, so I mean, we could do pretty much anything we set our minds to. You know what I mean? We just gotta say, all right, well, let's do it, you know, just jump on it, and speed is precision.
Only know you love her when you let her go. Only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Only hate the road when you're missing home. Only know you love her when you let her go. And you let her go. Staring at the bottom of your glass, hoping one day you'll make a dream last. Staring at the ceiling in the dark, and it goes so fast. Will you see you when you fall asleep, but never to touch me deep? Only know you love her when you let her go. Only know you've been high when you're feeling low, and you let her go, and you let her go. Will you let her go? Cause you only need the light when it's burning low, and when it starts to snow. Only know you love her. Only know you've been high when you feel.
Assalamu alaikum. Dewa? Car sounds pretty oxygenated for how hot it is. Like, that was an aggressive rev, you know? Is that a Netherlands plate? Bro, they're killing me out here. What are they doing out here? I hope that's what he wanted, just to turn around to make it easier. Alright, unless this pump does not work. No, we're good. You let her go. Benzene full. So we got this machine here, counting in liras, and then he puts my license plate there. So basically, I think that's so they know you paid. I don't know how that works. I think it's for surveillance to keep track of what car came in and what pump filled it up. There's something behind that. Or if you want to pay inside on credit card, they give you the slip with your license plate on it. I really don't know. The pump agent, I think he understood more Arabic. See, that's what I'm saying, is now they're starting to understand. He asked me if I was Kuwaiti. I was like, no man, I'm Iraqi, because he was looking at the license plate, and I'm like, but that's a Canadian car. And he was just like, oh. Yeah, take a piss every 10 minutes. Uh-oh, that's not a good sign. Everybody's staring, everybody's got their heads popping up. Yeah, that's funny. Fuck, bro, this guy was like literally brushing the car with a broom. I had a feeling it was gonna happen, but what do you do? Anyways, I gave him some money. Like, they're poor, you know? They're just trying to get what they can. I give him like 20 cents, you know? But that was annoying. Like, bro, don't get your brush off my car. It's literally a broom hooked up to a hose, and he's like going at the paint, you know? All right, whatever. It's not the end of the world. We're gonna get this thing detailed properly, professionally, and keep it away from dudes with brooms and hoses. You guys see that thing? I went to the washroom. I didn't give him eye contact or anything. My car is parked there. I come back, he's washing it with a brush, like a broom. Literally washing the car with a Bristol broom, hooked up to a hose, you know? I didn't ask for that. Neither did we ever exchange eye contact or anything. There's no way I could have approved that transaction there. That's how they do it, man. And I came up to him, I was like, no, and he's like, best jam. So I think he's trying to tell me he only did the windows. because I pointed, I said, that thing is no good for the car, bro. But I'm pretty sure I saw him going at the paint. So I can't confirm, but either way, I didn't ask for it. Still give the guy some money. It's nothing at the end of the day, and they're not ill-intentioned people. I feel like the more you obsess over something being perfect, like if you have a car, the more you'll notice the imperfections. Look, while I like to keep my car nice and clean, and I probably deep down knew that could have happened before I parked there, and I could have avoided it, but I said, you know what, look, end of the day, I gotta get the car detailed, and what's the worst that's gonna happen? Like some like minor micro scratches if he decides to go for it. And I had to take a leak bad, so I was just like, I don't care, man, I'm not walking across the parking lot right now. And yeah, so I mean, just have that mindset and whatever, I don't know, trying to make a lesson out of this.
See, they respect your state, that's on me. I did it like I did it, man.
This toll that we just went through had a whole military checkpoint built into it. They weren't stopping anybody right now, but it's got a whole police office, military police office attached to it. So we're getting into a more militarized, more secure area. Obviously, we're getting very close to the Syrian borderline and close to Iraq. So although Iraq is not as much of a threat as Syria is, it once was. And it's getting hot as, well, technically it's 2 degrees colder, but it's still hot. And there's the desert for you. It's not really desert, it's just water deficient crop. I haven't seen any Iraqi license plates yet. We should start seeing them now. But then again, it's Saturday, so whoever's out in Turkey is probably not going back until tomorrow. Or no, it's Friday, yeah. So, I mean, if anything, people are coming into Turkey, not going back. If they're going out for the weekend or something, that's how it would be. I'm getting a little emotional, man. I'm like, I'm back in the motherland, you know? We're about to go see Abraham's pond of fish, the sacred pond of fish. We're going to a very ancient biblical place here.